Welcome to the Contact Center Cactus Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Mulvin, coming to you from sunny Phoenix, Arizona.
And I'm your co-host, Jay Kayan from Dumaguete City, Philippines.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. Started my first business 10 years ago, and 6 LLCs later, I started PacBiz Contact Center Outsourcing in 2015. Today, we have over 200 employees and growing.
And I'm the operations manager here in PacBiz, and I've been working with Eric since 2014, and I grew as the company grew.
So whether you're looking to outsource for the first time, whether you manage a contact center, or you're just looking to improve your customer experience, we'll be covering topics for you.
So business managers, operations managers, business owners, this is for you, so make sure to subscribe.
All right, welcome back to episode 8. We're just going to pick up right where we left off. And I'm joined still by my co-host, Jake in the Philippines. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. All right, thanks. And we were left off with a question. And of course, if we haven't talked about this, like outsourcing. We always talk about outsourcing from, different companies. But if you can remember, Eric, you outsourced before, right? It started with you. And so what advice can you give to a company that is hoping for a successful start to outsourcing?
Oh man, that's a great question. I like the setup on that. You're right. I did start by outsourcing myself. That's how PacBiz got started. And, we started from scratch. We set up our own office. We set up, as we've encountered issues, we put up backup power, backup internet. We had to get a bigger office. There's a lot of things that we had to figure out that took a lot of time. And, it's really difficult for a company to go and do that. So, for outsourcing successfully, there's so many different options out there. Like just in our city where we're based in Dumaguete, I know at least about 50 or so plus different call centers that are based there. And that's in a small town of 250,000 people in a country of 100 plus million people. And so just in the Philippines alone, I understand there's probably over 10,000 different call centers, 5,000 big enough to be, registered on some different databases. And then if you expand that out, so just like everything, a great example is in the US, the phrase I like to think is, you kind of pay for what you get. So if for example, Costco, In-N-Out Burger, those are places that have reputations for paying their employees really well, but also providing a great service. And you get to experience that. In fact, it's what they pride that they have the employees that stick around for so long. Like Costco, you can go in there and you can see their name tag, and you could see how long they've been there. Since 2013, 2017. There's fast food places you would go to, they would never put that on there because they'd all say 2022. July 2022, November 2022. They'd be very, very recent. You don't want to show that. But having employees that stick around a long time because they're valued, that comes out into having a really great service. And I think the same thing happens in the call center space as well. If the employees are taken care of, then they're going to take care of the customers. And they're going to stick around a long time. If you're, look at the issues that happen when you're at a fast food place where it's always someone brand new. Now, the job is not that difficult, possibly. There's some complexities. I don't want to oversimplify people working at McDonald's, but it gets a lot more sophisticated when you're having to work. The clients that come to us and the problems that they're facing that they want us to solve gets way more complex. And so it takes, we put college-educated people on the phone. They have years of experience, and we have an attrition rate under 20%. So people stick around, and if you work with us over 2-3 years, you're still going to have the core team still taking calls 2-3 years from now. And I think that really translates to a really different experience. But again, it costs more. If you go to, if you really got to look at what your focus is on. If you're trying to maximize your AHT, your average handle time, versus maybe the budget, or it could be you're trying to maximize the NPS score, Net Promoter Score. It really depends. Businesses are geared towards one thing or the other, not really both. And if you're trying to go for speed and trying to blast out as many calls as you can and not focus on the experience, you could find centers that could do that. If you're trying to find centers that really focus on the experience and that they have staff that has empathy and can make the customers feel better and add to your lifetime value, there's centers that do that too. But there's different costs associated with each, and they make a big difference from the customer experience perspective.
Yeah, I would say that the core values that we have is the main weapon of to choose the right center to outsource. Because if you don't let's just talk about respect. If you have this respect, people will stick to keep working, and they'll be happy compared to other companies that are they keep on changing, and getting more, the attrition rate is high, and always getting new people working for them, and that's bad, because the experience alone is really a big thing. Working with being a call taker in any businesses, and especially with the taxi business, it really matters. It's like you're knowing all the people who's been calling every day. And it's really different if the flow, the speed, the accuracy, it goes along with experience. So that's how it is. So if you have the right core values, your people will stay longer, and this experience of being a working in a call center with a specific job will go longer, and they know exactly what they're doing at all times. So this is we're talking about people who's been very the expert of what they do because of that long experience. So yeah, it's just about the right center, the right culture of the center, and core values itself.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I thank you for adding that, and you're right. It is almost like a weapon, I guess, if you're thinking about we're competing against these other centers. Because, like for me, yeah, I'm the one talking to all the businesses, and I'm hearing what their challenges are, and it's just really only been the last 60 to 90 days that I've actually really focused on core values when I'm talking to businesses. And I lead with that. I start out with my sales presentation talking about these are our values. This is what we look for, because it really is everything that like we base our decisions on at our center. The way we coach staff, the way we hire them, the way we let people go when they're not a good fit. And we also look for businesses that match that. And I'm just straight up honest with these people. Like, if you're not a good fit with our core values, we can't work together. And if I see issues with our existing clients that are running up against our core values, then I'll speak up and tell the clients and let them know, because of how important it is to us. And the amazing thing I've seen is how it's really attracted the right kind of businesses to come our way. And so my suggestion is, if you don't have your core values for your business, figure those out, figure what those are, and think about like what's important to your business. And then you could find a company that's a great fit, and you could find one that just matches you guys perfectly. So, well, that's all the time we have for today. And so thank you guys for listening. Jake, appreciate being my co-host. And so we'll look for you guys next time on episode 9. We'll be talking more about outsourcing and the customer experience, and sharing our combined almost 20 years of knowledge working together here. So thank you guys for listening.
It's always a pleasure, Eric.
Yeah, likewise. All right. See you guys next time.